But going into last year's elections, your numbers in terms of the poll results that were coming in, the polls conducted, is giving huge confidence numbers for IEBC at some point, 80%.
It was 90. It was 89 point something. It's about 90.
But that's trust.
Yeah, that is
so
trust.
They trusted going into the elections. Now that you disappointed them at the election, so understandably those numbers may diminish. So you already have Kenyans trust.
Unfortunately, they diminished right from the point where results were announced. In fact, when the gadgets, when the RTS system started failing, Kenyans were patient. Because remember, the Constitution gives us about 7 days within which to announce results. But even after we made the announcement that we are going to take a longer time to announce, Kenyans said they could wait. They were still at over 80% confidence in IEBC. But soon after the results were announced, half of the country was split. And I don't know. Now, of course, we did. Now we are trying to take some steps to rebuild that confidence. We are going to try and do that through the internal evaluation. See if people can accept that these were the failures. Moving forward, this is what we want to do. But we have to move together as a country. We cannot move alone. Because remember, elections are not for IEBC alone.
Yeah. Because you said that it's important that you get to that place where you're engaging with Kenya and then they get a feeling that you're doing a lot to change and rectify on the mistakes that were made. Because when as we talked about earlier, registration that people don't know about, then it feels like this is it's shadowy-ish kind of business where IEBC is not coming out clean all the time. And not even about coming out clean, just making it clear and this and this is happening. So do you think you're doing a good job of restoring that faith now when you have this period of time?
We are doing our best. And Sophia, if you walked to your constituency and went to the IEBC office and so no one noticed there that registration is ongoing, isn't that the good enough notice anyway? That you should walk in, you should walk in and even make inquiries. But Kenyans really don't do that. They only wait for last-minute things to be, when we have a few days left.
Not many people will walk their constituency offices.
That's the thing.
But the thing is, then there needs to be a reason for me to be walking to. So most people don't have. So when IEBC does not inform them, they need to be walking to that office. They will not be doing the same. So,
well, even since long after it was made public that continuous voter registration is ongoing. Yeah. You can hear the criticisms that are coming in. We just got a caller who was saying we are doing registration on ethnic lines. How? We are an independent body. We are serving across the country, and we are not locking out some areas for registration. We are open, and yet there is a feeling, there is a mistrust that we are only opening to certain areas and others are.
I think that is not coming from that lack of information. When you don't announce it and say, okay, we're in this region, we're doing this voter registration, this particular time in this region, then we're here, and then we're there. That lack of information then leaves room for this kind of perception, this kind of insinuations, because people don't have information. So it's a field day for anybody to say whatever they'll say. So
I do not want to have so much on that, but I think, again, it depends on what suits somebody politically sometimes. So I think the brand of politics that is played is worrisome. Yes.
There was a suggestion and a proposal from IEBC that to have the elections staggered, because you are dealing with a huge election, 6 in one day, and that is massive. You still would you still is that the same to have it staggered, and how would that play out?
Yeah, that's a proposal we have made for consideration by lawmakers. That yes, that carrying out 6 elections in one day. We saw it was a logistical nightmare, even in terms of just ensuring that everything was done on time, delivery of materials, and then of course the working or the technical bit of equipment. That was a real challenge. So we've put that proposal forward that we could split like the other jurisdictions. We have very good examples. Rwanda, I think we have Rwanda. And few other countries, of course, even on the continent, that stagger elections, they do parliamentary, presidential.
So how would you want, what's the proposal, the exact for Kenya? How do you want it to happen?
We would have to, okay, if we were to make a proposal is to have the county elections separate from parliamentary ones. So county governor, county assembly, senators, and MPs, presidential and MPs as separate.
Okay. There's a question here on waiting slips. Jim is asking, will I be able to vote if I have a waiting slip by the time of will I be able to register, and by voting, what is the requirement by voting day?
The law is clear. You register with an ID or a valid Kenyan passport. Now, we know at the last minute Parliament changed the law that if somebody has a waiting slip, you could actually register. But remember, there are people who did not even get their IDs at the time we were going into elections. So unfortunately, the Constitution and the law is clear that the document you used, which should be an ID or a valid Kenyan passport, is a document you should use. So unless we change that, I think we will still stand by the fact that you need to show proof of an ID, that you have an ID, and if that's the document registered with, that's what you'll use, or a valid Kenyan passport.
Okay, several other tweets will sample here. Jackson Osanomari says IEBC can't call itself independent if it eventually has relied on government to procure for its equipment, and that itself is compromised, especially when the government is going to be vying in the same election going forward. What do you say to Jackson Manamari?
That is something that has been said over and over again. That yes, when we realized our procurement was, taking as, the way it was, because remember we were on statutory timelines, so time was not on our side. We opted to seek intervention from government. And what people forget up to now is that the government at that time was the Grand Coalition government. I think that should be borne in mind, that it was a Grand Coalition government, that by the time IEBC was going to Harambee House for consultation, we had Honorable Baki, Honorable Raila at the table. So it was not like we were meeting the president alone. It was the president and prime minister. And of course, the negotiations were done all above board. And thereafter, we were able to get the equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think that is something that Kenyans do remember.